Many people believe that Richard Pryor, who was born on December 1, 1940, is the greatest stand-up comedian of all time. He has been regarded as the Picasso of our business by Jerry Seinfeld and comedy's Rosa Parks by Chris Rock. Pryor's legacy in comedy, however, only reveals a portion of his tale. The top 10 fascinating facts about him that others might not be aware of are listed next. Number 1. Born into tragedy. Richard Pryor was born to a prostitute named Gertrude on December 1, 1940 in Peoria, Illinois. His father, Leroy Pryor, was a famously violent pimp. Pryor had a horrible early life, going through things that no child should have to go through. Pryor spent a large portion of his childhood living with his strict grandmother Marie Carter, who operated the actual brothel where his mother worked. It was Marie who acted as Pryor's primary caregiver and guardian because his mother would occasionally disappear from his life for extended periods of time. Number 2. In 15 years, he produced 21 comedic CDs. In 1968, Pryor released his first comedy album, Richard Pryor, which served as an announcement of his new stand-up style. Pryor made very direct jokes about sex, drugs, politics, his unhappy upbringing, and race relations in the material, which caused great shock and controversy. Perhaps most infamously, he frequently used the N-word, which he quit using in 1980 after having a revelation. Pryor would go on to record 20 more albums, with his final 3 coming out in 1983. In 2015, the year Pryor would have turned 75, 6 of the albums he recorded for Warner Brothers were made available for the first time digitally. Jennifer Lee Pryor, his widow, referred to the digital distribution as a wonderful gift to his fans, old and new alike. Number 3. Earned a writing Emmy. Pryor only ever won one Emmy, and it was for writing, even though he was better renowned for his skills in front of the camera than behind it. For his work on Lily, a comedy special featuring Lily Tomlin, Pryor received the Emmy for Best Writing in Comedy in 1974, in which he also appeared. Throughout his career, he received 4 nominations in all, 2 as an actor and the other 2 as a writer. Number 4. Received the inaugural Mark Twain Award for American Humor. The John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts started presenting the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor every year in 1998, which recognizes individuals who have had an impact on American society in ways similar to the distinguished 19th-century novelist and essayist Samuel Clemens, best known as Mark Twain. They chose Pryor to be their first beneficiary. Since then, a distinguished set of comedic greats, including Carl Reiner, Bob Newhart, George Carlin, Steve Martin, Carol Burnett, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Dave Chappelle, have joined him on stage. Number 5. For Superman 3, he received a higher salary than Christopher Reeve. By the early 1980s, Richard Pryor was a significant box office draw with or without Gene Wilder. If rumors are to be believed, he received a $5 million pay to appear in Superman 3, which is more than the film's star, Christopher Reeve. He was regarded as being so bankable. Pryor later acknowledged in his memoirs that he just accepted the job for the pay and didn't really enjoy the screenplay. Superman 3 turned out to be the least popular of all the Superman movies, so Pryor was correct to feel dissatisfied by the script. Pryor then got a $40 million contract with Columbia Pictures, which led to an even greater paycheck for him. Number 6. Lorne Michaels left Saturday Night Live due of Richard Pryor. Since Saturday Night Live was just starting off in 1975, Lorne Michaels, the show's creator, wasn't yet a well-known TV personality. Michaels took a big risk when he stuck out his neck and asked for permission to have Pryor appear as a guest presenter. Michaels had to submit a phony resignation to NBC bosses before they agreed to let the infamously profane comedian perform. For that night's episode, Michaels himself had to put in place a covert 5-second delay to make sure that any impromptu, unscripted foul language didn't get broadcast. When Pryor later learned of the delay, he acknowledged that, had he known, he would have declined to appear on the show. The 7th episode of the first season of SNL included one of the most recognizable and cutting-edge sketches to ever air on the program, the NSFW word association. The sketch's authorship has been disputed between Chevy Chase and Pryor's personal writer, Paul Mooney. Number 7. Didn't light himself on fire due to a drug mistake. The episode on June 9, 1980, when Pryor lit himself on fire and fled while completely enveloped in flames, is one of the tales about him that is frequently told. He eventually pulled through the episode despite not being anticipated to, and he spent the following 6 weeks in the hospital recovering. At the time, it was frequently stated that Pryor freebasing cocaine was what caused the disaster. Pryor eventually acknowledged that he had truly attempted to murder himself by dousing his body in 151 proof rum and lighting himself ablaze while suffering from a drug-induced hallucination. A friend of Pryor's at the period has been quoted as suggesting that the two of them had likely watched video of the legendary Vietnamese monk Thch Kung Si, who famously burned himself to death in 1963 as a protest, when they first had the idea for the act. Number 8. According to reports, he was seeing Marlon Brando. Pryor, who was out as bisexual, once spoke freely about his sex life with guys at a gay rights rally. He stated in his autobiography, "I never kept my lover a secret. My best friend, for instance, knew I was sleeping with a dude. And a drop-dead gorgeous one at that. I even admitted doing something different was exciting." Pryor allegedly had an intimate relationship with Marlon Brando, a great actor. Pryor's widow thought the men did have a relationship, despite the denials of the men's relationship from Pryor's daughter and Brando's son. Quincy Jones, a music producer, has also asserted that Pryor and Brando had a relationship. Now that Pryor and Brando have both tragically passed away, it is impossible to confirm or deny the rumor with certainty. Number 9. Had 7 different wives. Pryor married 5 different ladies 7 times in total. A buddy of Pryor's who was the best man at one of his weddings recalls how Pryor came up at his hotel room door just a few hours after marrying Jennifer Lee and said that he already wanted a divorce in the 2013 documentary Omit the Logic. After divorcing Lee the next year, Pryor remarried her 19 years later. The couple was still married when Pryor passed away in 2005. Number 10. Over the course of the last 19 years of his life, he battled multiple sclerosis. In 1986, Pryor received a multiple sclerosis diagnosis. This was in addition to other serious health issues. The comedian underwent triple heart bypass surgery in 1991 after already having 2 heart attacks. All of this had a physical toll, and as his health deteriorated, Pryor gradually faded from public view. Pryor's 3rd heart attack, which occurred on December 10, 2005, just 9 days after he turned 65, was ultimately what took his life. In 2004, his sister reported that he had lost his voice as a result of complications from MS. In a statement, his widow Jennifer remarked that he did not suffer, he went quickly, and at the end there was a smile on his face.